All righty, everyone. Welcome back to the Coaches Union. Mr. Baugh, how are you doing today, sir?
I'm great, Chris. We are prime peak week,
Sir.
ready to roll. You've got AJ this weekend, right? Doing the Vulcan.
I do. I do. It's kind of weird, like how I don't know if I'm just like in my groove right now, but it's not like really registered that it's peak week.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Like I think it's just because I'm looking at him so much and we're just doing what we're supposed to be doing that I'm like, oh yeah, that's like I gotta pack to
Yeah,
go down there. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah. You do come here tomorrow,
I
so
do.
it's might want to get on that. Yeah, and then I've got Riley doing it. It's her first time competing. So proud of her. I can't wait to post her 6 month transformation because it's wild. Um, and then we have one of those other things where that my men's physique pro competes in Poland. So like 4 a.m. Sunday morning, he's on stage because it's like 12 p.m. there. So I don't know. Sleep will be non-existent Saturday night to Sunday, but it's fine.
It'll
Um,
be worth it.
yeah, I mean, he looks really good, so I'm excited.
Yeah. And I think like Stevie Wonder could probably peak Riley right now, and she's still set. So
Yeah, I created a really good foundation. It's been wild, man. She has barely broken below 130 like this whole prep. Yeah, her
Jesus.
whole prep she lost 7 pounds. But now we were 127 this morning. So the peak week magic is full on. Like she woke up and was like, "Oh my gosh, like after all this food and all this water, how am I losing weight?" And like, it's just don't worry. That's why I post the magic wand. Like just don't worry
Yeah.
about it. It just works.
AJ, if you're listening, I'm sorry that your peak week does not feel the same way as we have to make weight. So
Yeah, AJ, you would hate me right now. So
oh, he hates me right now for sure. It's not fun, dude. I hate it. I hate it. If I told him I was like, this is the last year you're doing classic, I think we're gonna have to hang it up after this one, which I guess is a good issue. But
So he's like my men's physique pro. He has to make weight tomorrow at 8 p.m. And so it's like like we're interchanging like proteins at like 130 gram weight and carbs are at like 130 gram weight. So it's like it's very annoying. It's annoying amount of carbs right now. Because you also get like no satisfaction from the protein, just trying to make weight because we're right there. So
yeah, we are like 2 pounds above. So like today we've pulled lean protein by 3 ounces a meal. We've cut his veggies in half, and then he's got like 30 grams of oatmeal before bed to help him sleep.
yeah, yeah, it's
And
yeah.
that's it.
And that's just enough to piss you
So
off.
I'm really sorry, AJ. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, dude. I'm like, this is as I was writing, I was like, I'm so sorry, dude. Like, I don't know what to do. But it's like I'd rather be this way than like, dude, last year for battle, he had to sit in the sauna because I he wasn't lean enough at battle to use diuretic. So and again, notation there is if you're not lean enough, please don't use diuretics. But we had to sit in the sauna for like 2 fucking hours on Friday to make weight. And I was like, I can't do that to you again.
Yeah, yeah. It's dude, I'll get that way making diet sometime. Like you'll get so low weight of food, I'll just like just take it out. Like what the fuck's it even doing at that point? Like I just think
I
like
don't want 40 grams of rice.
yeah, I'll see my bikini girls with like 70 grams of rice. I'm like, why is this even here? Like just fucking like sorry, like let's just take it out.
Yeah. Dude, it was just like I would at that point just rather have like let's see, 70 grams of rice. I'd have like 190 grams of strawberries at that point.
Yeah, yeah. I'll usually like swap them to rice cakes or something just so it's
Ooh,
not like a literal spoonful of
just
rice.
this much rice.
But yeah, it's funny, man. The things we do for competing.
I love it. This podcast is brought to you by Live Well caffeine pouches. That's where I'm at currently in this point. I feel super great. So
You look great.
thank you.
Yeah,
I feel that I'm hitting new lows every day.
yeah.
It's really fun. We are in the thick of it, but we got a lot to talk about today. First question we got was actually from last week. We had some spillover because you guys are actually participating so much more, and we do appreciate it. We got a question about when it comes to our programming and how we write workouts for our athletes, is it more important or is it more ideal to follow the exact exercise order or moving around based on availability?
Yeah, I mean, the order's there for a reason, for
Yeah,
sure.
it's like optimal versus practical. You know what I mean? It's like ideally, I've put these exercises in a specific order for a magnitude of different reasons. Um, I think where it kind of comes into a caveat, though, is there are some cases where I do understand, especially if you're training at like 6 o'clock at night at an amped or a crunch or whatever, like you're fighting like a dog to find anything to use. Um, the rule of thumb that I kind of give to those people that generally run into that issue repetitively is one, ask if you can work in with them because most people are generally reasonable. And if they're not, tell them to eat a dick. But two, like isolation movements, so single joint movements, I'm a little bit more free willing to allow those to shift around. You know, if it's like I'm doing a seated ham curl and then a leg extension, but I show up in the seated stake and I do a lying ham curl instead and then a leg extension, or I have to swap the order of those two. That's fine. But like we shouldn't swap like movement one. If it's like adductors, we shouldn't go hack squat instead.
Yeah,
See
yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm the same way. Like it needs to be, if you need to come back to the glute drive machine, okay. Or if you can't do a strength incline press, but you can go do a Smith machine incline press or dumbbell, cool. Like as long as a press is a press, a row is a row, a raise is a raise, that's kind of my thinking on it. But like, yes, the order matters. However, don't wait 30 minutes just to fit the order. Like
Yeah.
just go on. Now, like, and I'll do this while I'm traveling. I'll do this in a crowded gym. Like, I'll take it upon myself where I'm like, oh, I'm the expert here. Like,
Mhm.
I'll make something else work. But
I think it's more fun too.
yeah, yeah. But typically in terms of like progression, yeah, you want to keep the order. The order is important, but just don't let the workout suck just to keep the order.
Absolutely. Yeah. And again, also like I'm also a fan of having like backup gyms for that reason. Like find a facility that nobody knows about and just have a hole in the wall just in case. So yeah, ideally follow the order because we actually put thought into our programming, unlike copy and pasters out there. Old 3 sets of 10. Next question we got, and this is one that we debated about, and then we had to stop. Worst supplement brand to be sponsored by?
Um, I'm gonna say First Form because remember when First Form came out and it was like they started the whole like influencer, like it was like mini influencers. It's like anyone could be a first form athlete, register to win, the
Mm-hmm.
whatever package, and everyone they were the first ones on Instagram. But it's just so like cringy. Like I just see it now and it's like, ugh. Um, Raw honorable mention is working itself up into that
They're getting
catalog.
densely saturated. I'm gonna say bucked up because every dude there's a pathway of it, dude. It's like there's an order of operations that we just like intrinsically have. It's like primal when you first get in the gym, right? You go sign up at a this is when you've graduated from Planet Fitness and you've gone to like a Anytime Fitness or a Workout Anytime. So we've taken one step up the tier. And then we start buying lifting gloves and we start buying our lifting straps and we start buying our belt. And then you become a bucked up ambassador. And then shortly after that, you get your, whatever bullshit personal training certification. And then now you're offering programs. I've seen that happen 100 times in my life.
Dude, bucked up just makes me think of like fucking like Rock the South and like NOS energy
It's like
drinks.
dirty South, bro.
Like,
It's gross.
dude, so Rock the South is this like country like concert thing in some like mud pit in Coleman, Alabama. But it's like really a lot of girls like it, right? But just like bucked up and it's like a deer and like camo and like it's just like we know clearly you don't work out. Like it's yeah, I feel like I would drink like if I was on a boat at the lake, like Memorial Day weekend or something. Someone's like, "Oh, do you want a bucked up or a beer?" Yeah, I'd probably take a bucked up. Outside
Yeah.
of that, like I don't associate that with pre-workout at all.
Mm-mm, mm-mm.
Um,
And anybody can get an ambassadorship. You can go on there right now and get one. You know what I mean? Like it's
I think you do that with 99% of companies these days.
and I think because a lot of people don't know this, and I want to explain this, the horizon of it. If you have a discount code with a company, but they do not pay you a salary or offer you any financial compensation other than the commission that you sell, you are an ambassador. You're not an athlete. And what that means is you are an outside sales rep that still has to buy your own product. So just so people understand, if you are making a salary or there's financial compensation involved, then you are a sponsored athlete. But those are two different things. And it looks kind of silly when we don't really understand which one's which.
Well, it's a brilliant idea. So like
Mm-hmm.
I worked as a retail store manager for I had like four stores I ran within the supplement space. And
Mm-hmm.
so I did a lot of the buying and things like that. It's brilliant because if you look at these companies that do that, which now it's all of them, the discounts that the tier operators, the athletes, the ambassadors, whatever get is not even wholesale pricing. So like they're still making their money off you. Then you're going to go and sell to someone else where they're making money off of. Like they're getting paid regardless. So it doesn't matter if how many ambassadors they bring on. Like they're still getting paid and more products are being bought. And so it's brilliant. I'd say, and this was one of the companies you mentioned, Redcon One. And
Yep.
we were all tier operators for Redcon One at some point if
Yep.
you're an OG in the game. Now you wouldn't see me caught dead rocking a tier operator for Redcon One. Back in the day, though, that was like, do you remember how many athletes they had?
Dude, they had everybody. They had Brett and Luke and
James and
they
yeah,
had the whole Gasp crew. Like they had everybody.
yeah.
Um, that's why I loved them, dude. And here's the thing, hypocritically, I still use MRE Light and Double Tap. I have both of those right now. They have great products. It's just like Brett. I remember when Brett made a video about it, like why he left, because they were having to post like promos every day on their story. It'd be like 30, 40 stories of like what's for sale that day. And just like it looked like a used car lot, you know?
Yeah. And it became that, unfortunately, because like and now Aaron Singerman's the man. I don't know if you've ever met him. He's fucking OG. I love Aaron. I think he's brilliant. But what started out, so like if you remember, which I competed at the Flex when Redcon was like Dallas was there in a Redcon shirt. Jansen was competing. It was 2016. Redcon was coming in 2017. And all you would see was Redcon 1. You wouldn't see anything else,
Mhm.
but Jansen and Dallas were like kind of on it. He made Jansen be a tier operator, which and not an athlete, which is funny. But it started out really good products, like really good formulas, and then it just dwindled away to um, okay, now we're going to do buy one, get ones. Um, like Black Friday prices on a Tuesday. They started going into Walmart, GNC, Vitamin Shop, Costco, which, yes, for branding is great. But what I had a problem with, they started reformulating the products and not telling you. And
Mhm.
then so what started off as like a great, like the Big Noise was a great
Mhm.
product. And then they reformulate it, didn't tell nobody, and then there it goes. Same thing with the whey protein, the isotope. It was great. Then the powder texture change, and then it starts not digesting well. And there's just a lot of stuff, that it's not shady, but it's shady because it's like, at least tell us it's reformulated. Tell us it's watered down. And that's where, you'll see brands now like C4 is another big one. Like, dude, you wouldn't see me caught dead being small. C4 would have to pay me mm, what 100 grand a year to be sponsored by them. Um, yeah, I wouldn't do anything less for C4. I don't care how many drinks you get. Like C4
Yeah.
is the ultimate, just like cuck of the supplement industry.
But dude, back in the day, when there was only the fruit punch and the blue raspberry, and it
Mhm.
tastes like dog ass. Was that the best pre-workout there was? Or BSN, dude? NO Explode?
So
That used to be the shit.
So I was yeah, Explode. I was an Explode guy. I was a Craze guy. The original Jacked
Yes, sir.
and 1MR
Mm-hmm.
was really good before BPI sold out. But
Jekyll and Hyde together.
oh yes,
Mhm.
that was the first combo that made me realize I had blood pressure issues. Um,
I don't know if you know this, but what they did is there was an active ingredient in both, and when they interacted, it replicated PCP. But they
dude,
got away with it because the FDA would never test them and call them together. It was always just individual.
I believe it. But yeah, dude, I was crazy about like supplements. But I worked in a supplement store for 7 years, and
Yeah.
my issue with C4 is when you buy as a retailer, you get like it would be like a 5-in-1. So you buy five at wholesale, you get one free. That gets your price point down. Your sales reps will be like, "Oh, I got some car stock inventory. I'll throw you some under the table if you'll buy this amount." So you're it's sales, right? So like we were on like and you have to buy X amount to get a cheaper margin. So like, when C4 finally became open to Europa to be distributed, we would have to buy like 70 of them just to get
Mm.
like a 4-in-1 or a 5-in-1. Bodybuilding.com got a 1-in-1. And so what that means is they buy one, they get one free. And so like you're paying, I believe it was like in this between 17 $19 wholesale.
Mm-hmm.
So they're paying, what's that? Like $9 a tub. And then we're paying 17, 16 for it. So like that's why we would get just destroyed as far as margins go and like having to keep up with internet and whatever. But that's why you see a lot of these companies going and doing these big sales and this, that, and the other. They have so much room to play with because as their orders get bigger, they get cheaper cost.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, just the
and
volume.
yeah, and so not to like give y'all a whole business backstory of like how supplements work, but yeah, in summary, um I would bucked up, first form. Shreds isn't still around, but definitely want to see me caught dead with Shreds.
No, sir.
Um yeah, but dude, companies I've been with the Cutler series.
Mm-hmm.
It was cool, but like they wouldn't let me do anything with it.
Yeah.
I asked, I said, "Hey, I have an in at X amount of NPC shows. I can go put a booth. I can get you free sponsorships. I can get you free on the banner." Nah, we don't do that. Sorry. Like, okay, cool. Like, I guess I'll just sit here and not do anything. I've worked for Extend, Cybation, with Extend, and then I worked for Man Sports.
Mm.
Um, Extend was awesome because I did get free product. I got, I don't remember, it was like X amount of wholesale a month, but what I would do is I would get my free product and then I would sell it at retail to my boss to sell it in the store. And I would just get cash. So
Hell yeah.
fucking hustler, baby.
What you got to do, dog. One day I'll tell the story of how I got fired from managing a GNC, for hustling for sure.
Statute of
I was sponsored
limitations.
by. Well, no, we're good now. Basically, I'll give a quick summary. I'll give a quick summary. I was in college, was doing a dual major in exercise science and nutrition. I managed a GNC, and I had way too much time on my hands because the GNC that I managed was in a mall in the armpit of America. And there would be days where I'm not playing, nobody would walk through the door for like 8 hours. And I'd be by myself and I would just be hopped up on Adderall, doing my work, ripping energy drinks, whatever. And I was making like fucking 8.75 an hour as a manager,
Mhm.
right? And you would make commission through the third parties, which is why whenever you go to a GNC, they only sell you Cellucor, they only sell you whatever other brands they carry at this point for whatever that may be, because Cellucor would pay me to sell a tub of C4. And so I would just keep pushing all of that shit as much as I could. It was like, hey man, just buy this. It's all the same. I get a couple bucks off of it. And I was in a mall and it had to work out anytime. And it was just a bunch of like good old boys. And so I was trying to figure out how to make ends meet with my bills. and we started getting like, we had a bunch of return products. And the regional sales director came in one day, and I asked him, I was like, what do you want me to do with all this? Because we had like dude, it was like a tote box full of just tubs of pre-workout and a bunch of other shit. And he goes, oh, you can sample it out to people if you want. Like, it's getting thrown away at the end of the month anyways. And I was like, wait, there's an opportunity here. And we
Hmm.
had those little ramekin, little to go, clear to go cups or whatever, like 2 ounces. And so I would just sit there when I was bored, and I would, dude, it was like Breaking Bad back there. I would just lay them all out, and I'd scoop everything out, but like 2 scoops, and I'd label them and tape them up, and I'd sell them for $1 a pop to these kids. Like, hey, you want to try pre-workout, dog? Go take this. It's $1. And I would just do that. And then it got really out of hand. There were much more layers to this. Because then I realized, I figured out how on the computer system you could known loss or discount stuff. And so I would haggle with people. I'd be like, hey, how much do you want? You want to buy that test booster while you're here? And they're like, well, how much is it? I'm like, how much do you want to pay? Because I still got the same amount from Performix,
Right.
regardless of what I charged.
Right.
So I did that as well. And then there was a franchise GNC down the street, and probably once or twice a week, they'd have someone come in and return PMD products to us. And we'd have to give them all the money in our till, but we couldn't resell it because it was PMD and we didn't make commission off of it. So then we would just do it back to them. So there was like numerous layers to me trying to make like an extra $100 a week to survive.
Yeah.
And then they caught on, and I was asked to leave. So that's my GNC story.
Hell yeah.
I was fucking 18, dude. I didn't know what to do. I was broke and
S-
sad, and
Sounds like you knew exactly what to do, bro.
I I figured it out really. My head put that one together very quick.
Yeah.
Um, Supplement industry is interesting, dude, because it's like, I know people who obviously work at Armada, which is a massive manufacturer and formulator for all these companies. Literally, do most of the stuff out there is actually the same, like for the most ish part. Like, if you go to a vitamin shop, the 8 pre-workouts they have are going to be very similar as far as quality goes, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think now you buy it off of flavor and like brand loyalty for the most part, because most formulas are pretty similar too. Like
Mhm.
we know these days what works, what doesn't. Then it's just like high stem, low stem, more pump, less pump, naturally sweetened, etc. But the benefit is like while there is so many brands out there, like I don't mind, and I'll use Axe and Sledge as an example. Axe and Sledge is not cheap. They don't do a ton of like crazy sales. Like you don't see them doing buy one, get ones. Like, I trust those brands because of that. Like I would much rather pay more. Same with like Hostile. Like I would much rather pay more for the more expensive stuff because I know if that's what they're selling it for, I know around what their margins are, what they would retail it for. Whereas like you see some stuff online for 29.99, you're like, I know they're paying like it costs them $5 to make. And then you know what the raw compounds cost, and it's like, yeah, that's bullshit. Like they're not selling you real stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. Axe and Sledge, Evogen, and
Yeah, Evogen. I've been on an Evogen kick lately.
those two. And then what's the third brand that I use quite a bit of? Honestly, dude, I use a lot of Nutricost stuff.
Hmm.
For any guys out there, like, I actually highly recommend Nutricost for just like your base health supplements or single ingredient things, because you'll see the labeling. They don't put a fucking dime into it. And
Yeah.
that's great. They don't have like a wonderful marketing program. I think I've seen like 2 ads for them in my life, but their prices are so unbelievably reasonable for like basic health supplements. Um, I feel like I could talk all day about them. But yeah, please, for any of you out there, if you're considering picking up an ambassadorship, the other thing I'll say too, actually, let me circle back, because I have I work with a lot of like people, younger people, and a lot of them like really want to like make a name for themselves in the industry. You don't have to have a sponsorship to be worth a fuck. I currently don't have one, other than a peptide company that I'm working with now. But um, I was sponsored by Clinical Labs for 4 years. I love Austin to death. I fucking hate the other owner, and that's why I left. And they were great to me, but it didn't add stock value or worth to my ability as an athlete. The other thing that I'll say too is, if there's like a company that you really want to be a part of, one, you have to be more valuable to them than they are to you, in a sense. That's why sponsorships work the way that they do. If you get an ambassadorship now for like Joe Schmo's bullshit brand, they're not going to show interest in coming to you or like sponsoring you because you're claimed by somebody else. So it's kind of like hold out, like don't stay into the night, don't go home with the 4, ride it out for the 10 type of deal. It's going to pay off a lot more in the long run.
Yeah, I had that talk with Austin. We actually had a talk with Austin about moving to a new company because, hey, brother, like your current one's looking real watered down and you just look like everybody else, unfortunately. But you're so much better than that. Let's get you into a
Mm-hmm.
role that may not be as like trendy, but I'd rather have like 10 of you than 100,000 of you, and everyone has a code and it doesn't mean shit, and the company's kind of going to shit. Um, Same with Callie. Concrete reached out to her. And I was like, oh, that
Mm,
sounds great. Do you want to be at the Arnold handing out fucking creatine?
that's it. That's
That's
all they
that.
have.
That's the reality of it. Like, and so I was like, when you put it that way, it's like, maybe not. But that Miss Carrie June girl, the mini beast,
Mhm.
came to her with a clothing sponsorship. I was like, yeah, take it all day. Helix, take it all day. So like you just have to. In the big scheme of things, like who do you want to go be at a booth for?
Mhm.
That should answer the question. But
Oh yeah.
um, anyways, enough of the supplement industry.
Here's one. Jay Cutler versus Dorian Yates in their prime,
Like on stage,
side by side. Yeah.
Jay Cutler.
Okay. Now, is there any judging standard where Dorian would have beaten Jay?
No.
No. Okay.
I just don't like because Dorian wasn't pretty, he wasn't aesthetic. Jay was probably 20 pounds bigger, 10 pounds bigger. Um, Jay was bigger, harder, fuller. Um, Jay was just better. Jay was the next door. He was the 2000s version of Dorian.
Do you think that Jay or Nick's waistline is worse?
Jay's.
That's what I was kind of alluding to with all of this is like go and we're beating the dead horse because I also Nick won at the New York Pro. We didn't even recap that, but um I don't understand the why he specifically gets shit on so much when Jay arguably had a thicker waistline, which I love Jay's look. I love both of their looks. Let me preface with that. I don't really comprehend the discrepancies in this case.
Yeah, like the thing is, man, is if you like look at Hunter Labrada, look at like if you look at all these guys just chilling, they
Dude,
all have that GH gut, Slen gut, whatever. Dude, we have it. I have it. If I just like sit and like just stand, like, but I can pull my abs in just fine. Like, it's not that I'm fat. It's just like, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it is the GH. I don't know if it's like the years of food. I think part of it is just yeah, as you grow and you develop like muscle tissue there too, like
yeah.
it's just gonna look more muscular. It looks more dense. You see it on CrossFit girls. Like
Mm-hmm.
they're not like, yeah, probably some of them are doing GH, but like a lot of them just because they have a muscular stomach. Like, what do you want it to do?
Yeah, it's
Like,
like we need muscle there. The other thing too is like okay, using because Debs doesn't have a big waist, but using when you peak Debs, I can only fathom how much food you had to put into him to fill him out.
yeah,
Because I
the
think it's a food volume thing too.
yes, yeah. I think it's more food in the off season and
Mhm.
then it carries over like like in the off season when you're force feeding and it's just like you just kind of food baby all day long. It's hard to regain that back. So yeah, but yes, a peak definitely on stage can affect stomach distension for sure because you're so lean. And so it's like, well, yeah, like that stomach is going to expand too. That's why I'm big on, doing whatever we have to do to make sure we go to the bathroom show days. Um,
Absolutely.
and
And
so
then mugs.
yeah, the enema process. Just for no other reason is like, hey, I don't want to use laxatives or anything like that because that goes into nutrient like absorption issues and all that. But if I can keep piling things on top of it and just empty out the bottom, then we can keep going.
For
Um,
sure.
and so, and nothing. brings out more confidence, both guys and girls, when their waist is just vacuum tight and they're full.
Oh, dude, the morning, the prejudging shit is all I care about that whole day. If I
Yeah,
pooped, we're good.
yeah,
That's it. Nothing else matters.
yeah. So it's just part of it. But yeah, Jay wins hands down in every shot.
We had the Hermes Ferrari analogy that you wanted to discuss about exclusivity.
Yes, yes. So I wanted to touch on this because we talk about like what makes us different as coaches is creating exclusivity, right? And so about finding your lane, your position in the workplace, whatever. And a lot of it we see now, and we talk about all the time, is like the three spots left, the two spots left. That's not creating exclusivity. That is trying to enforce like scarcity or trying to enforce that, like trying to shove it down our throats that you're exclusive. But like I'll use these examples like the Hermes or however you want to pronounce it.
Hermes.
Hermes, yeah, the Hermes bag. Um, you don't get to pick your first one you ever buy. Like you get told what bag you're gonna get. Which I think is really cool. So like,
Yes.
but it's when you see that status symbol or that logo or whatever of the
Right.
bag, or it's like, oh, like okay, like because it means something. And
Mhm.
so just the simple fact that you can't walk into the store and pick out a bag like it's picked out for you is a whole other level of like exclusivity within their workplace or within their position within the market. And same thing with Ferrari. Like there's a reason you don't see a lot of Ferraris around. So like if you go like if I were to call right now, I would like to buy a Ferrari. Okay, you can come and look at a used one. And the used ones are priced higher than the new ones because it makes them hold their value. But you also it's like paying your dues. It's like no, you got to like join the club first. Like
Mhm.
you're not even in the club yet to get to the new ones. You have to buy the old one and like know what it's like to run and own and operate a Ferrari. I literally can't go buy one right now. Like you
Mhm.
have to, it's a whole process. And so in terms of like coaching exclusivity, I wish like that's something I try to pride myself on is like when clients ask like, do you have spots open? Would you be able to work with me? Like creating that. And I want your take on it too, because I don't know how to make it harder or like to create more exclusivity. Obviously, we can't like do that. But outside of like price point or just telling people straight up no, like I think I've told like two people no this week.
Mhm.
One of them sent a picture of Samson and said, "I want to look like that." I was like,
Why can't you do that, Alex?
"Yeah." I was like, "Ah, you got the wrong coach, my guy." Uh, it's just
Go to his wife, bro. She's probably taking people.
yeah. So, but what's your take on that? Obviously, those are great examples, but like, give me your thoughts on that.
One, I think it's cool because I'm also like a watch fanatic and like Rolex, Audemars Piguet, Richard Mille, all those brands are the same way where it's like you don't get to just go buy. They don't care how much money you got in your fucking pocket, right? And I admire that because again, it's back to what I think matters in this, and it's like confidence in your product, or in this case, what we provide in our service, and we can't be bought. You know what I mean? Like, dude, I had a guy not that long ago who was throwing me way more money than my rates every month, and he thought that it like earned him a better spot on the team or whatever, and that he could just speak to me the way he chose to. And I was like, you can leave. Like, this money's cool, but it's not worth my dignity and respect as a coach. Um, but I think exclusivity is a great thing in this case because again, like obviously you are further ahead than I when it comes to this as far as the caliber of athlete that you're working with, but ultimately you aren't meant to work with everybody, and that's okay, right? Like you have your skill set and where you've honed in on, and that's changed over time. I can imagine, much as mine is kind of like I'm like almost got both my feet out of the lifestyle side of coaching, and I'm just moving into strictly prep coaching and whatnot. Um, but with that too, it's like your time is valuable, your sanity is valuable. and you only have so much of that to provide on a daily or weekly basis. Therefore, you can't take everybody. I like, dude, if I saw you post that you have 5 spots available, I would call you and ask if you were okay. Because like that means you're broke. And I'm
Yeah.
like, what happened? You know what I mean? Like that means you lost your whole team and you're broke. And it's hard because it's like because it's this weird paradox where it's like I want to help as many people as I can. Like I genuinely, honest to God, care about serving people first and foremost, regardless of the goal at hand. Would I like it to be more show prep stuff? Sure, but I don't care. I just want to produce. But I also understand with that, it's like I also one I don't take everybody that applies either. That's why I have coaches on the team that I can refer them to, whether it's like we don't align, for goals or expectations or financially we don't align, whatever it may be. It's like, cool, well, you can go to someone who I trust and I'm trained and I know they're going to give you a similar service than I am. They've got the availability for you. So go to them. Um, and that's the challenging part. It's like I don't want to turn people away necessarily like to dick swing or whatever, but it's also like there are just certain cases where it's like, hey man, like there's probably actually someone better for you out there, and I would rather you end up with them than just me take you for whatever like gatekeepy or greedy reason that we see.
Yeah, because it's one thing to say no just because like I don't ever say no because I don't think someone's quote good,
Oh
right?
yeah, no, yeah,
Like, and I was having, so I have an onboarding guy who handles it, and I was talking to him like, yeah, man, look, if they're a first like if they've never competed before, like I had one kid, he just signed up and he's never competed before, but like he everything's to a T. He fills out his application, he does like sends me training footage. Like he's great. And I was like, dude, if you can kind of gauge if he's like that kid, hell yeah. Like I'm all in for it. But like I don't really want someone who's never competed before to come in like with that whole new like, okay, how do I weigh my food? Like I
yeah.
don't
You're
I
not there
can't
yet.
I can't do that.
You've surpassed that.
But there's plenty of people who look good
Mhm.
who are in that field, right? And but it's like, and then I have plenty of people who like you look at and they're not genetic anomalies, but they hone in on the process, they do everything great. And it's like, yeah, like I want to work with that. It's more of a process thing rather than like a potential thing.
Yeah, it's fuck the physicality, dude. I've had people come to me where I was like, God has given you all of it except for the one thing that I need, which is coachability, right? And a lot of times for me, it's before we've even scheduled the phone call, I already know how it's going to go because I have my intake form on my website, I have it in my bio, and if people leave stuff empty, like they don't fill it out completely, or they give me one word answers, or they don't give me that, I'm like, okay, so you already the what I deem a very important part of this process, which is you letting me know what I need to know, and you're not telling me what I need to know. I don't feel there's reliability when you check in with me. Are you going to tell me everything I need to know?
Mhm.
Right? It shows that you don't care. Right? I don't like that. I'm still going to talk to you and then I email you. And if it takes you a couple of days to get back, okay, now our response time isn't great either. And if we're still being short, we're not providing much. Okay, again, like we're seeing intrinsic values that I'm not going to align with at the end of the day. None of it has to do with the physique. I worked with a dude who was 385 pounds. I've worked with people paralyzed from the waist down. I've worked with someone who's legally blind. I literally do not care. I don't care where you start with because if you have this correct or are willing to make this correct, I can make you as great as we can ever be in time. Right. And that's what it comes back to is just like, I don't care. I've had people do that too, man. And it's like, one, it's almost flattering, but almost kind of like hurts your feelings because there was a time where I was like, man, I want to be that coach where people are like kind of scared to like come to me or whatever it may be. And I've had people be like, hey, well, I'm going to work really hard for the next 3 months to be good enough to come to you. And I'm like, but I don't like that. Like
Yeah,
it's flattering that you think that you need to like kind of come up another notch to want to work with me or to feel worthy. But it's like, I want you now because I can, let's just do it now. Like, let's make you great together.
yeah, and I've dealt with that even like with some people on my roster. Like, I know I'm not that important. Like, thanks for letting me. Like, and I'm like, hold on now. Like, no,
Yeah.
like if I coach you, you're just as important. Like, you're just, and it goes back to I'd say people are in different lanes, but I take pride in anybody, and that's something who, if they never compete, that's fine with me. Like, it's not why I coach, but
Yeah.
yeah, I see that a lot. lately, but that's why I think the being more exclusive as a coach is a huge thing, and it goes into, you never see a commercial for Lamborghini.
Yeah.
They ain't ever on sale,
To me,
like
it's like if you know, you know. Like if you're going to take the time, because I'm not posting every day that I got 3 spots available, like some motherfuckers out there. Um, if you're going to take the time to go through my page, look at some of the transformations I've got, go to my team page, look at what we've produced, or maybe go to the website. Like if you're going to take the time to kind of to interview me without me knowing and click the link and fill it out, then great. I almost want there to be more steps in the process. Because if you open up my intake form and you can't answer 8 simple questions, I probably don't, we're probably not meant for each other because I'm very detail oriented in what I provide as a plan. I need you to be able to read and be detail oriented, right? So for me, I think that's what helps me in that sense is like, one, I'm not posting every day that I got 3 spots available, but two, you got to kind of like do your own homework on me up front. I'd rather it be that way because it shows that you care
yeah.
about me, about your it's not just like a window shop where you're like, that coach, I'll hire him for no reason unknown. Like I want you to see the value that I provide where I don't have to shove it down your fucking throat every day for you to go, oh, he's good at what he does.
Yeah, man, dude, I had signed up. She's a wellness, master's wellness girl. Has really good potential. Signed up with me last week, and she was like, "I've been watching you since Law won in Detroit." And she's like, "And then I watched you again when Cali won." And I was like, and then she reached out. So that's what, like 14 months later, and we never spoke, we never met, but she just sits back and watches. And
Mm-hmm.
I think like, and that's where to me the good coaches are always going to rise to the top, is like if you just deliver and be who you are, be present, like you're gonna people watch and people are gonna make note of that. Like me and you were talking about earlier, like people are going to see you grow and develop, and they may not reach out now. They may reach out in 6 months, but like they're watching, and everything you do matters, from the whatever shady sales tactics you want to post to the whatever transformations you want to post to, like, I see people post the same transformations once a month.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a transformation collage. It's like it's the same ones from last month. Everyone else sees that. Like it's not like and so, oh, we're getting on a tangent here.
Run it.
Your Instagram followers are it's not TV. You're not a new TV channel. You're not a commercial. So like it's the same people seeing the same shit. Like it's not a new audience. You didn't gain 500 followers from last month. If you did, they're not genuine interactions.
Mm-mm.
Um, and that's the thing about social media, man. Social media is so not real. Like I've collabed with Callie. Callie has crazy amounts of followers. Collabed, thousands of likes on a post. But it gets to a point where like they don't even mean anything.
Mm-mm.
Like I'd rather get 200 to 300 on a post, and it's like all people I can scroll, and I know like I can have a
Yeah.
conversation with every one of them. It means much more to me than, a 1,200, 1,500, 2,000 that I have no idea who they are.
Oh,
But that's me, I couldn't imagine being like a genuine like pro, or who gets like hundreds of thousands of likes. I would panic.
oh, bro. It's like I put up a TikTok because I've been just like spamming all my shit on there. It's at like 43,000 views. It's got like 8,000 likes. So I'm like, I know none of you. Like, this is cool, but I'd rather like when we post shit and we have a bunch of our friends commenting on it. I'm like, that feels lot cooler to me than just random people from all over. Like, I don't know any of you, you know?
Yeah. And
Um,
those are the ones that are like tangible interactions. Those are the ones where you're going to get a client from, or I'm going to get a client from, or we're going to get something from a new podcast listener. It's the
mhm.
ones where it's genuine and it's like, oh, look at them. Like,
Yeah,
and we know them, or my friend knows them, or they coach my friend. And then those are the posts that mean shit.
for sure. Also, let's stop real quick. Thank you to everybody who listens. We hit 12,000 total listens on Spotify last week or earlier this week, which is really fucking cool. It's really bizarre to think that 12,000 people, like sets of ears, have heard us ramble about shit. Um, it kind of goes back to like what you're saying, like everybody's watching and listening. Dude, I live in this box that I'm in and assume nobody notices me.
It's very weird. I get in here and I sometimes I've like word vomited a couple of times and had to like backtrack sometimes with some people like, oh, sorry, I didn't mean it like that. I genuinely don't think before I talk on here. The amount of times I've been in Tennessee with you, or just me and you, I'll go to Tennessee. The people that stop me and just to introduce themselves or like triple look me, are you Alex? Oh, I'll just listen. Like it's it's a flattering feeling. Like
Yes.
it's super cool.
I get sweaty
Um,
every time.
but my like I'm in a movie right now. Like this is not real life. So yeah, thank you guys for listening because we genuinely just get on here and yap. We try to make it fun, you know, but it doesn't feel like a job. Like we just get on here and shoot the shit. So I'm glad you guys enjoy it. And
For
we'll
sure.
definitely like always talk, like come up and introduce yourself like that. To me, that's the coolest thing.
We're just dudes and we're both probably nervous. Like when your athletes came up and like said, "Oh yeah, we love the podcast," I was like, you listen to this?
Yeah.
Thank you so fucking much. I appreciate it. Like I would never expect like my imposter syndrome, as we just talked about it on the last episode, like it thrives in those moments, but it
Yeah.
does mean a lot. It definitely never goes unnoticed because every person who brings it up to me, I'm shitting my pants right now.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm like, really? Like, what do you think? Like,
dumbass. Like, okay,
cool.
fuck it. We'll keep going. My camera sucks, but it's fine.
Yeah.
Um, Alex, what's more important, who you train with or where you train? Who you train
Who
with?
you train with all day,
100%.
baby? All
100%.
fucking day.
Bro, we could fuck it up in a Planet Fitness if we had to.
You remember that gym we went to in Tennessee? That little fancy gym. We walked in and it was like
Quantum.
Shark Central Quantum. Yeah.
Quantum, yeah. Ugh.
Dude, vomit. And I just looked like me and you stood out like sore fucking thumbs. Um, Shout out to Quantum.
Yeah, we were the misfits of that gym, bro.
Dude, I just looked at you and was like, I got it. Like, and we just started just going. And you have to, if you have someone like that with you training, I can train in Planet Fitness. Bro, we can train outside and
Do
just
it.
have a session, man. But like, that is the ultimate thing. It doesn't matter what fancy gym you're in. Um, yeah, I would pick good training partners all day long.
100%. 100%. Dude, because again, it's like with what we do or people who travel, it's like you're not always going to have the same environment. But one thing that I think I've said it before on here, but Jensen Morris, he's one of my good buddies down in Tampa. He's a great coach. Um, he's extreme when it comes to training, and I love it. But he brought it up one time in a story. He was like, quit complaining about the fucking environment and be the environment.
Yeah, yeah. The amount of people that I have just randomly over the years would come up to me and be like, "Man, you're just always like in here, like you motivate, you push me. Man, I always see you getting after it. I don't want, like that to me is awesome." And
That's all
then,
I wanted.
yeah, like it's just it's an aura that you have to bring within yourself. And we talk about that a lot, like on show days and stuff, but carry that shit in the gym too, man. Like, um. So, and this is a little different, but kind of the same. With jujitsu, right? Like, I don't train in a big fancy academy. We don't have like, the front desk and gear. Like, it's just like 15 of us and we just get down, right? But I was training. So, we've been doing this thing where I'm getting like practice starts at 6. I get there at 5. And then in 5:15, we do like 5 rounds of sparring. And then we do a full practice. And then we end with 5 more rounds of sparring. So we're getting 10 rounds in. So it's like an hour of like live rounds. But I started doing that. And it's like, it's not everyone does it. So then everybody else gets there when class starts and blah, blah, blah. But it was like I was drilling with a guy and he came in late and he was like, dude, like, why are you wet? And I was like, oh, I've been getting down, dude. He's like, doing what? I was like, oh, we did 5 rounds before we started. And then he's like, what are you getting ready for? I was like, just nothing, dude. Like jujitsu. Like, what are you talking about? And a couple, we keep drilling and then, he stops. He's like, no, seriously, like, what are you getting ready for? I was like, huh? I was like, Jujitsu, bro. Like I have to get better at jujitsu. That's what I'm getting ready for. Like I'm gonna come in here, I'm gonna be that motherfucker no matter what. I get pride off of like y'all just get here and y'all are getting tired during the warm-ups, and I've already rolled as many times as you're gonna roll today. Like, so that energy and ego, take it into the gym, take it into wherever you go, people around you, because now what's happening? Other people were getting to class early. And it's all
Hmm.
because I showed up one day early, was like, and another guy was there, said, hey, you want to roll? And then it just slowly picks up. And so that translates back into the gym you're at. Like it doesn't matter what gym you're at, create that environment. If you see, dude, I have people in my gym, like that old man that talked to you at 24E. I got
Yeah.
just one really overweight dude. I got this guy who like just has to incline bench every day. He's in there. I always dap him up, say what's up. Like, dude, they're nowhere near a competitor or anything like that, but like they see me, they get excited. They're ready to tell me how their day went. They're ready to give me a fist bump, and I know that that carries them so much further, you know. So, um,
100%.
be that environment.
Dude, yeah, it's yeah, and going back to like this is like a chicken before the egg thing, right? Chicken or the egg, because when I first got in the gym, I had no expectation of ever being a bodybuilder or a competitive one at that, right? I never thought I'd look the way that I do today. But when I walked into the gym, especially when I joined Arsenal at the time, it's Armor now. And when I went there, it was when Dallas was there and Matt was there and Matt York and Michaela Acock. I was like, I'm never going to be. I remember saying this all the time. I was like, I'm never going to be respected for how I look and the physique I have, but I will earn respect for how hard I work in here. It's all I cared about. I want to just get a nod of the hat from those people, that circle, being like, that kid tries really fucking hard. That's all I cared about. And then lo and behold, like chasing that standard, and I still do now, of like, I'm going to set the tone for what this is supposed to look like. That was what created the byproduct, which is the physique that I have today, right?
Yeah.
I didn't fixate on the physique. I fixated on, I'm going to be known as the guy when it comes to work. And it had nothing to do with the weight I moved. It had to do with the effort I put into each set. I was like, I'm going to bury myself every fucking day until someone goes, hey, that's really cool, man. And that's what I did. Right. And that's where I like earned, I guess, earned part of the part of this was like when back in the day, dude, I only posted training footage.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's all I cared to post was just training footage because I didn't give a fuck to show how I looked. It was like, this is just what I did today. And to your point, though, like people make note, right? Dude, I've had in the last week, I've had three people at the gym in separate cases. Are you in prep? Yeah, I'm fucking X weeks out. I'm not going to say what it is. Like, hey, man, I can tell you're fucking getting after it on the stairs every day. And I'm like, I'm just here doing what I need to do, right? But dude, I'm coming out drenched, like literally head to toe, drenched in sweat through my sweatpants all over the stairs. And I'm there in my own little world, but people make note of work ethic. And I do too. Like, it could be anybody. I've seen 17, 18-year-old kids getting the fuck after it. And I go shake their hand because I'm like, hey, that was a really cool set, dude. Keep doing that. You
Yeah.
know, it has nothing to do with the size, it has nothing to do with the weight on the bar. It's like you can just tell when they're a motherfucker. Like you can just be like, you've been through some shit, haven't you? You
Yeah.
know, that's what
Dude,
people care about.
one of the, oh, I couldn't agree more, man. Like one of the things that I still remember to this day. I was like 21, maybe 22. Um, Ronald Poe used to like, I guess he traveled for work, and he was in a Gold's Gym one day, and he knew like my boss at the time at the nutrition store, like the owner of the stores. And I guess he saw me training legs or whatever, and he had like he didn't say it to me, but he like asked my boss, "Oh, you know, he competes, doesn't he? Like I can tell, like you know, his work ethic." I was training legs. Come to find, I didn't know. Like to me, Ronald Poe at the time was just like the guy at the gym. Like I didn't know much of anything. Turns out I also saw him at the Flex Lewis where I was a junior, and he was like smoking the thing.
Yeah.
And he was with like Turner and Jansen and all those guys. And I was so naive, man. I just like he had his stuff backstage. I just went and sat down next to him. I was like, oh, I know him. Like I had no clue. Like he's a bad motherfucker.
Hell yeah.
But I knew I had his respect of how I trained legs that one time. And dude, I sucked. Like I was like 22, 23. Like I got fourth at the fucking flex. Um, but that was um it just goes to show, like you're saying, no matter what, like somebody's watching and they may be 10 times better than you. You know, they may not ever compete, but they may look at you and just carry that energy with you the whole time. And it's going to pay off in some way.
Dude, I love nothing more than like being in a gym where there's like 5 or 6 people all individually getting after it. Because
Mhm.
you can just like feel the vibrations in the room. It's like, holy fuck. Like it gets me, like I get goosebumps thinking about it. Like, and it's all because one person, I get one person in that gym fucking turned it on. And then someone else saw it and they turned it on. And then someone saw them and they turned it on. And then just creates this whole like cataclysmic event where everybody's just there. And like those people also, I think so people understand too, the real people out there who actually are worth a fucking this will be there and support and applaud and clap for you, regardless of who you are. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? It's the fucking losers that judge you for trying too hard because they never can comprehend what trying is.
Yeah. No one truly better than you is going to talk down to you for like working hard.
Fuck
Um,
no.
I think that's why when I first started coaching, I still was able to get a lot of respect from people because they knew how hard I went in the gym. Like, I
Mm-hmm.
didn't have the physique on it, but like I specifically remember, man, there'd be show weekends and everyone else is wanting to do arms, and I'm putting 4 or 5 on my back and squatting it. Like
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, oh, we're different. Like I'm not like COVID. Fucking, I sent y'all that video of me deadlifting. I'm like from the floor fucking deadlifting. Everybody else is hitting arms, doing the 3 back cable movements we got. Nobody like people who are far better than me statistically on competing. I'm not gonna say their names, but like I buried them. I would come in there and they didn't want to train with me. I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, yeah, y'all go over there, play on the cable crossover. I'm gonna fuck this up. And
Fuck
but
it.
that's like they didn't couldn't match that energy with it. And it's not
Mm.
that like my way was right or their way was wrong. It's just like I was bringing a certain energy regardless of where I was at. And it gave me a line of respect
Mm-hmm.
that, that even the better physiques would give me. Like, well, I mean, at least he tries, he goes hard.
Yeah, we dude, we see that all the time where it'll be like, comma, but they work hard. And
Hmm.
that's all that matters. Like, fuck the first part, they work hard. That's all that matters at this in this. Like, I'm also and we see so much more of it now of like the fatigue management bullshit and everything else. I'm like, why can we get back to embracing just the idea of trying as hard as you fucking can and seeing what happens?
Yeah.
Why would we leave the what if on the table? And that's what I've never understood. But again, that's why I've put on 60 pounds of muscle since in the last 9 years of my life, you know?
Yeah.
Um, what's the most rewarding feeling as a coach?
Hmm. There's so much, man.
The one for me that comes to mind, because again, I do work with a lot of first timers, is the first question I always ask is when they get off stage, was it worth it? And if their eyes light up and they smile and they say yes, that to me is it.
Yeah. Yeah. There's so like, oh man, like when Riley put on, like when I saw Riley in her bikini this weekend, and like
Mhm.
dude, I picked it out. Like the color, the, whatever the thing, I can't think of the name. Um, the things that hold it together, like all like color, hey, I want your hair this way, all that. Like I saw her in person in the suit and like I wanted to cry. I was
Yeah,
like, this is like look at what we did.
we
Like
did it.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's I know there will be a tear at some point. Like,
Mhm.
but and it's not because of the win or the loss or whatever, but like just how far they came and like, oh my God, I put it on athlete. Like I dieting, getting to stage with me is so not easy. It's you can confirm.
I can confirm.
It
Yeah.
is so not easy. And so that's a whole other level, right? But like just the overtime, watching their face, like in their check-ins and how they carry themselves, watching their excitement and their joy and looking at their body as like how just proud they are. And they're like, I never thought I would look like this. And like that, those to me, it just is like, you just sit back and like, man, look at what all we did. And if they never compete again, great. But like that to me goes further than the wins, I think, is just
100%.
the
Because
journey
again, dude,
there.
the placing's cool. I want all my people to win, right? But they live in the body that we're creating, right? They don't, that doesn't go anywhere, and it's like that. I think it's like I mean, I'm the king of side by sides, as we know. I make layouts all
Today.
day.
Yeah.
I did today. I needed that because I was not having a good morning. I was like, I need to compute that there's something good happening right now because I feel like shit. Um, but it's like using like AJ as an example, competing this weekend. I remember when I put up that most muscular comparison, and I cried. I was like, motherfucker, like we did that shit.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm telling you, and I love AJ to death. He's one of my best friends. When he first came to me, I was like, it's going to take some time, a lot of TLC.
Yeah.
And then 18 months came and went. And I was like, you're a motherfucker, dude. Like, you are incredibly good. Um, those are the moments that I live for where it's like, okay, this is all worth it to the both of us. And that's what matters. And just seeing him as a person grow, I think that's another part of this is like, especially with your long term people, like getting to watch them excel in life, even outside of their physique.
Hmm.
That's cool. Like I feel like some of these are like my children. Like I've watched them like graduate college and fucking get their first job and move and do all these things. And it's like, and they're excited to tell me about it. I'm like, because this is a massive part of their life. So it's a massive part of my life too. And it's like, or like weddings. I just had one of my guys, he had his wedding this weekend. Like that's all the cool shit about life that matters that we get to be a part of with other people.
Yeah, that you said it best, like the ones that you get from ground zero to it. It's like if you have a puppy and you
Mm-hmm.
raise the dog from a puppy, or you go and adopt a 5-year-old dog. Like the love's different.
Mm-hmm.
The love can be the same, but it's different.
It is. Yeah.
And I think that's the thing that you look at it like, we had that talk on the patio. Like I want like up in Denver, like Austin is everything. He's the carbon copy of me, like to a T. Like that is literally like the closest thing to me that I could embody into a human,
Mm-hmm.
into a bodybuilder, right? And so to me, it's special in its own right, like when he gets on stage. Then there's you who came to me more advanced, but there's a whole other level of like personal and love and like we nailed it that goes with that, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's the same amount, it's just different like
Just different.
ways of thinking, right? And so that to me, and then like you said, like I've got two weddings I'm invited to. I gave a kid, I was his referral for a job. And so
Yeah.
the manager called, the guy running the interview called me. I was like, dude, like, I gave him the full rundown and I ended it. I was like, look, man, I don't know. Like, if he wanted to date my sister before my sister got married, I would have said yes. Like, is that good enough for you? Like that.
Yeah.
But the longer you're with people, the more you get to know them and the more you get to just experience life with them. And there's a lot of highs that come with it and there's a lot of lows, but like just that to me is the coolest part of it.
Yeah.
And it's why when clients leave, it's like a breakup. It's like
Dude, it sucks.
yeah, it's a loss.
I hate it, dude. It's like that's what I'm saying, man. Like I don't. I think because I get so emotionally invested in my people, like as any good coach should. Let me preface, I'm not special for that, but it's just becoming less common, unfortunately. Like, dude, it's like I only want people if they're like, "Hey, I'll be around for a year," because I'm like, let's do this for like a couple of years together. I think that'd be really cool. Versus like 3 months, I'm like, dude, I barely get to know you at that point. Like, I don't. It just doesn't feel the same way. And you're already coming into this telling me I got 90 days to prove something. You know what I mean? It's like I want the people like, hey, let's ride this out for a long time. Because then it's like now I can feel more comfortable developing that personal side of the relationship over the process because I know you're going to be around for a minute. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
yeah. And it gets better. Like over time, it just gets better. Like communication on day one is not going to be the same as like day 101. Like
Yeah.
you're gonna grow and develop, and that's something that can't be rushed either. It's like a
No.
relationship. It's you're you're gonna learn what they like, what they don't like, how they cut up, like how what you can and can't joke about. Like there's a lot that can go into it, but then once you're in it 6 months and it's like, okay, like now, like we're in a groove and it's a bond. Like I have a bond with everybody, and and then some newer athletes come along and they're like, I want that. I want what you have with them. I'm like, well, it's not that like I favorite them or anything. They've been with me for, dude, Austin's been with me for 4 years.
Yeah.
Like I've literally watched him from a boy like grow up. Like,
Mhm.
yeah, he's gonna have some favoritism from me in terms of like character and like if anything I'm harder, like people who are with me the longer, like you guys might not want to be those quote like inner
What-
circle because I'm an ass.
Yeah, when he gets comfortable with you, dude, good luck. Like,
Like you'll be all right, yeah, don't worry about it.
yeah, yeah, dude. But no, man, it's just how it is. Like we have these team lifts, and it gives me an opportunity to really connect with a lot of people at once, and it's a clusterfuck whirlwind, but I live for it. And it's like the same example of like I had a guy who's newer to me who showed up, and like it's easy for me to get caught in conversation with Levi because he's been with me for 3 years, and he's one of my best friends, and we've cried and been together, like we've been through life together, and he's like a almost like an older brother to me. And so it's easier for us to just chop it up and cut it up because like it's just how it is. I only get to see him like once a month, and it's our time together, and it's not favoritism. It's just like there's a deeper connection that's been developed, but it's taken 3 years to get to that point, right? When we first started, it was not like that. Like
Yeah.
he texted me, and every time he texted me, I thought he was mad at me. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
it just takes time.
and that's why, and dude, I have some people who are like jealous of your team lifts because I don't do that. I'm like, I'm not gonna do that. That's not my thing. That's Chris's thing. Like go work with Chris if you want to go to a team lift. Like this is
Yeah.
what he does.
Come hang.
But like even me, like I don't come to a lot of your team lifts because me and you couldn't like, dude, me and you could just go sit off in a corner and like talk to nobody.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
like I selfishly have to come to them and know that like it's going to be the least amount of interaction we're ever going to have because you have responsibility to everyone else. And oftentimes like I'll find that when I am at shows or when I am, traveling or doing other things, like I pay attention to everyone except the people who I'm always around because I'm like, you have to understand, I'm not around them, but
Yeah.
this one time. And so, like, yeah, it may look like I'm favoriting these people, but I haven't ever met these people in person. Like, I'll see them in their underwear before I shake their hand. So, like, and that's tough at shows because, like, a lot of my athletes who like see me a good bit are like, you going to this show? I'm like, yeah, but I'm going to be with someone who's never competed with me before. So, like, it's going to take precedent over you. Not that I'm not going to come say what's up, but like, just know they get the priority there.
Yeah. It's a tough thing to balance, because it's like I want to make sure everybody gets time together with me, and we get that one-on-one. But to your point, it's like the people who are newer, they deserve their time more, arguably more time, so
Yeah.
they can start to develop that bond. Because it's like if there's probably like some study out there of how much time it takes, who gives a shit? But it's like they just started. I need to spend more time with them because I also need to get to know them,
Mhm.
right? It gives me an opportunity to learn. Like I learned more about three of my newer athletes at this team lift that helped me with their updates than they've ever provided me in a check-in, because we're just having organic conversation, and we're just chopping it up, and then, oh, that's good to know, let me make a note of that, and then I can include that in your update. Otherwise that wouldn't happen, right? I wouldn't get to provide additional value. um but yeah, if you're one of the favorite, if you're in the inner circle, as it's called, apparently, it's not all it's cut out to be.
Yeah, you don't want this inner circle.
You don't want this
But
in.
but that's the thing too, man, is like I'm friends with y'all.
Yeah.
Like we hang like a lot of like when we go and lift places or we travel to shows and we're together, you're not there as my client. if
Mm-mm.
anything, you get on my fucking nerves being my client because like I'm still having to. I want to talk to like, dude. We talked about it like when I was like, "What are you getting to eat?" And I was just making conversation as your friend, but you thought it was like a quiz.
Yeah,
I didn't.
I didn't know what to say. I was like, you tell me, dude. I don't fucking know.
Yeah, so like there's times like where like I'm like no, like just I'm just genuinely am your friend right now. Like just don't like I'm not coach. But it's very hard to cut that off and on. But yeah, there's a lot of times like where I'm training with y'all or I'm hanging out with y'all and it's just because we're friends. Like it's
Yeah.
not that and hopefully I had a guy he didn't sign up with me because he thought that he saw me at AMP and thought that he could just get in on the training. I was like, no, brother, I'm training right now. I happen to coach these two people, but this ain't part of it. Like, but they've been my training partners for years.
Because it's that's one thing that I want to say too is like when we train together, like yeah, you'll show me some tidbits or vice versa, right? But it's a different situation than when you train with one of your people for the first time because that's a personal training session for you where
Yeah,
you're just coincidentally also working out,
yeah,
right? That
yeah,
makes it whereas when we're doing that, we're working out and then you might throw me a couple cues here and there, but I'm also not going in it like Alex teach me everything, right? And so like that's where people need to kind of understand like we also have to go train ourselves as humans and like get our shit done for a magnitude of reasons. So not every session can be the same way because you need to get ready for your next set. You don't need to be like hyper analyzing every rep that I'm doing and then cueing this and that. Like that's not where we need to be. Whereas when you're first time people, absolutely, it's just it's much different.
and it's why I try not to do it honestly, just because like I only have so much time in a day, and then when I like training is what keeps my soul alive.
Yep.
I if I don't get to train how I want to train, I'm not going to be a good version of myself the rest of the day into the
Mm-hmm.
next day. So it's just better. Like I had like Candace and Riley came to do legs on Sunday. I
Mm-hmm.
just put them through the session and I trained after. But not because I couldn't do it with them, but I would be halfway in coaching
Have,
them through the session and then trying to me have a good workout. I wouldn't give them what they needed from me. Like, so it's just better like to keep it separate almost.
that's
Um,
why, yeah. Like with the team lips, it took years to figure it out, but that's why like I trained before. I
mhm.
get my session done, and then people start rolling in, and I just start bouncing around to work with them on whatever they need from me. Versus before, I would try to train so I could try to set the standard, like lead from the front. But then it was like, okay, now I'm getting 3 sets done in this workout, and then I'm also not really able to socially interact with everybody in the same way. So nobody was winning at that point.
Yeah, and I hate that part of it, the social interaction part, because like again, I'll be at shows and clients are coming to see me, but like I'm not me on show day with an athlete in the show, you're not gonna get like a good bubbly Alex until I know I'm winning. Like, and so that's where I almost feel bad. I'm like, I don't want to. I want to be 100% all in when we talk. I don't want to be disrespectful. Obviously, I'm going to come in and say what's up. I wish I could spend more time with you, but the way my anxiety is set up,
Yeah.
I ain't gonna be here but for 5 minutes.
Well,
Uh,
and it's like I've had a bunch of people reach out on the team that are coming this weekend to support, which I love, but I've already let them all know, hey, I'm going to be all over the place. I'll
mhm.
try to find time to talk to you, but much like you for your show day will want me to give you my undivided attention,
Yeah,
AJ deserves this weekend, you
yeah.
know?
And that's what actually like people have been with me at shows, and it's hard. Like I'll do my talking after,
Mm-hmm.
like or before. But I try to sit away from people. I try like it's hard and like I don't want to sound like a douche saying this, but like it'll take me 30 minutes to leave a venue sometimes
Mm-hmm.
because like it's you gotta do what you gotta do. You gotta pay your respects, shake the hands here, kiss the babies here, and just sometimes just genuinely have some conversation.
Mm-hmm.
But I try to just like going into a gym where I know people, I try to just compartmentalize it like, hey, like I'll come back. I gotta watch this person. My athlete needs me. But then too, like there's times where like I'll see athletes in the audience. I'm like, at least come sit with us.
Yeah, for
Like we're in a
sure.
group, like come on, like sit in the rows. Like, I mean, I don't, I would ideally like to not break down your plan in the audience would be cool. But outside of that, fuck yeah, like come, because I've had some people ask like if they could come sit. I'm like, okay,
Fuck yeah.
I'm not that exclusive. Like,
Yeah.
get your
Yep.
butt over here, you know?
Yeah.
So yes, if you see me at shows, come sit with us, come say what's up.
Yeah.
Just don't ask me what your meal three is or what you should train the day.
Don't do that. Don't do
We'll
that.
we'll rope you off real quick.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's where it'll get really uncomfortable because I ride my peak anxiety at that moment right before prejudging, which means that the words that come out of my mouth will not be in a tone that are appropriate. And I just know that.
Yeah.
Um, fuck Mary Kill, Trin Halo T3.
Um, I'm gonna fuck. This is honestly is what I do for life. I fuck Halo. I marry T3 and I kill Trent for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I take armor thyroid every day. So,
I'm going fuck Halo, marry Trin, kill T3.
buddy, you can't marry Trent. You can't. Dude, I'm sorry. I object to this marriage.
Damn it.
It's just, I get where you're at, but it's just because you're on trend right now. I don't think you
Yeah.
really want to marry Trent.
I don't
This is
I
like
don't
you bringing a toxic ex-girlfriend back to the group, like, guys, we're different.
yeah, it's just like I guess I should probably marry T3 because
Just
I probably I need
think of the benefits, how lean you can stay and how much food you can eat.
that's true. That's true. But then it's like, dude, between Trin and Halo, because like as much as I love Halo, it fucking gives me some heartburn, you
Yeah,
know?
like you could fuck Trent, but like you don't want to take Trent home to mom, is what I'm saying.
And there's like 5 milligrams. Like it was just dude, I'm telling okay, that's fine. That's fair. You're looking out for me. It would just be Trin Ace. It wouldn't be Hex. It wouldn't be E. It would not be E. Absolutely not. Um, all right. We'll leave it at that. Fucking whatever. Um, competing for the wrong reasons, like revenge on an ex, which I don't really understand how starving yourself is revenge to an ex, or clout chasing.
I guess to like start looking better, like I would think that would be more for people who were like maybe married and then got divorced and then want to like, chase the looking better part of it. Um, I don't think that I think, and now I'll say this. I've had some people go through some shit and like relationships and like deal with exes, and that was their like burning fuel for
Mm-hmm.
prep, and it worked wonders. Like they hated that motherfucker so much, and they looked amazing, and I support it, honestly. Like, and it's not. However, though, they weren't people that were just like, oh, I'm gonna just up and compete now, right? Like they were already competitors or had competed once or twice and they just had some fuel to the fire. So that's where I accept it. Um, but no, I think along with the clout chasers, if you're someone who like just ends a relationships, like that looks like a good idea. I'll start looking hot and I'll get followers and I'll get attention. They're gonna break. Like
Mm-hmm.
they're not gonna be people that I would deem ready to get on stage.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
No, we one like the revenge thing or whatever. Like I've definitely used that as a driving force when like years ago, like my first prep, like broke up like 6 weeks out and it fueled my ass.
mhm.
But it wasn't to like prove a point. It was just because I wanted to like instead of coping with my emotions, I wanted to fixate on a process addiction. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Um, clout chasing, I think this is where people like really don't understand. Like when it comes to social media and having a following, there has to be like one or two of three things provided of value to make people want to follow you. And that's either a physique worth a shit, a work ethic worth a shit, or a personality worth a shit. You need to have two of those. So if you like, and I say that because a lot of people are like, well, if I go do a show, I'll get follow. I've been there before. I years ago I worked with this guy who's like, well, I got to win shows to get clients. I'm like, that's literally not how it works. As someone who's won shows does not get you clients. But the other thing is like if your physique looks like shit when you get on stage, what clout do you gain from that
Yeah.
if you just took more time to improve?
Yeah, like, dude, the whole social media thing just doesn't make sense to me. It's not real. Like, everyone looks to post on social media the closer they get to a show, whether it's stories or on their page. And like, there's a difference in like being proud of what you're doing and just like that seeking validation or like feeling like you owe it to your followers to show them something or whatever. It's like,
Mhm.
dude, those people are there for you, kind of like they may be in your DMs or commenting, but like they're not really there for you. Like, unplug your phone for 48 hours. Where are they in your mind? Right? Where are you in their mind? They're probably not thinking about you. Like, in all honesty. That's what I tell people, like, yeah, you're gonna compete, you're gonna post your pictures, you're gonna the next week's gonna come, you're gonna post your video, you're gonna post your pictures again. Then no one really gives a shit. Like, 2 weeks post show, no one really gives a shit that you got on stage. And so
Hmm.
what do? Well, you gotta go post your throwbacks and you gotta post your reminiscing, missing the shreds, this, that, and the other. And it's cool. Like, but you, what is that for? Is that because you're proud of it? Or is it because you want an interaction, you want a validation, you need something to fulfill that void, right?
Hmm.
Um, if you're proud of it, that's why like I post whatever I want because I'm like, yeah, like I'm proud of it, whether it gets one like or 100 million, like I don't care.
Hmm.
But you see people go down that dark road of like, oh my gosh, now my show's over. I don't know what I'm gonna post, dude. Oh, everybody post show. Post their rebound meals every fucking time. Meal one, meal two, meal like no one fucking cares, dude. Like you're eating bodybuilding food. I can pull up all my clients eating the same fucking food you are. Nobody
Yeah.
cares. Like
Nobody cares.
you want to post a recipe, you want to post a little concoction that tastes good, cool. But like no one really fucking cares. Like I hope you're getting more food. Yeah, it's probably, but it's like they don't have anything else to post about. So they're
Yeah,
just like,
'cause
ah, look at this. Like,
it's like, oh, cool, chicken and rice. But it's also like, or like the people who it'll be like 30 weeks post show and they're still putting post show. I saw one yesterday, dude. This guy put 50 weeks post show. And I was like, brother, it's been a year. Like, it's been a year.
yeah, it just to me the post show, and again, like this is me. I'm always gonna talk harshly on social media, like acts, because I want to bully you out of thinking that that's what you're doing it for. I want
Yes.
to put the reality that it's kind of not real and that it doesn't really mean much, right?
Mhm.
That's why, like, if ever I talk about social media, a lot of times I'm like, nobody cares. Like, I don't mean that genuinely nobody cares. I'm sure that there's a lot of followers who are going to interact with you and like ask what you're doing for your verse, and that's how I'm getting another client, etc. But like, it's cool. I get it. But that's why I speak on it that way because at the end of the day, if you were to deactivate your Instagram or your Facebook or your Threads or TikTok, what people are around you in your life that truly matter.
Mhm.
Those are the ones that like probably have your stage photo framed somewhere, right? Like those are the ones who truly give a shit about your process and about your journey, who've been with you there the whole prep. Not the ones that just tell you, hey, you look great, fucking shredded, diced, on, nailed. Those are all, we can all take everything I just said right there and go find it in every single one of y'all's comments.
Mhm.
Like, are those people going to call you on your birthday? Probably not. They're going to
Mhm.
be at your funeral? Probably not. So, like, that's the reality and then the Instagram reality. And trust me, I love a good Instagram post. Like, dude, I'll text you, oh man, we're about to cook with this one. Hell yeah. But it's not real. Like, it's not real life.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, to your point, I don't like when we post those pictures, like they're cool as fuck. And I know we're going to shit on them in a few weeks, anyways, but I cared about posing in front of you and Riley and Levi and AJ and my team. And that was what I gave a fuck about. And I get that moment for the rest of my life, whether that post ever existed or not. You know what I mean? Like that's what
Yeah.
mattered.
Yes, and that's why, like, and so that's the thing, man. Like, because we bring media teams to
Hmm.
lifts and the gym, the event. It's like the picture of us hugging, but I didn't even know the camera guy was there. Like
No.
me and you were just having a conversation, but they're doing what they're paid to do. Me and you, coach, athlete, coach, we're doing what we are doing. And it just happens to be someone is getting content for us because fortunately that's the job
That we
that we do, and we have to have content to show that we exist. But you will, and that's why like a lot of times, like I like now that I'm getting shots of me smiling more because like I am a happy person. But like a lot of times my photos, like people just assume, like Thomas told me one time, he's like, oh yeah, we know like this person was saying, well, Alex just stands there and looks mean and his photos look sick. Like I don't stand there with a mean mug on my face, like trying to look hard for the photo. I'm just doing my job, and the
Mhm,
camera guy does his job, and that's the reaction that you get. Like
mhm,
I don't plan it to be a certain way. I just look how I look, and does it look cool? Yeah, a lot of times it does. There's a lot of edits that don't look fucking cool. I'm like, I don't know, I don't want that one. Like take that one out. And so, again, that's the facade of social media. We only
mhm,
show you the good stuff. But the reality of that day in those photos is I'm looking at Chris because like I drove all the way there to look at you.
mhm.
Like, yeah, it's cool we got content, but like I needed to see.
Yeah, that's all I cared about. I was waiting with my pants down for you to come over. I was like, let's do this, dude.
Same, bro.
Hell yeah. Rapid fire. Injectable intramuscular L-carnitine. Is it worth the hype? Yes or no?
If it's one of the few compounds you are willing to use, yes. If
Yeah.
it's like if you have a very low PED profile that you're willing to take, it's awesome. If you're you and you're already doing X amount of injections a day, no, it's a waste of scar tissue.
It's scar tissue. The pip on it usually sucks. It's a pretty large oil volume or water volume you have to use as well in a lot of cases. Like I go back and forth in the context of this. It's like if you follow your diet, it's probably enough,
Yeah.
truthfully.
Yeah.
There are certain cases though, but again, it's like it's a very taboo, not taboo. It's a very like niche demographic. Like I comprehend it being used a lot more in females,
Mhm.
but then it's like okay, so we're willing to do an injection, but then not necessarily like a high anabolic profile. So it's like a very it's hard to find someone who kind of exists in that space who's willing to do that as an injection, especially when it hurts like a son of a bitch the
Yeah.
next day, but isn't willing to do other things that I would deem probably more beneficial in that moment. What's your favorite cookie brand?
Uh, Pillsbury, if we're doing the like open the bag.
Like store
Um,
bought?
yeah. Or Oreos.
Yeah, I'm saying if I'm just throwing, I'm saying Chick-fil-A cookies.
Oh, okay. We can go like restaurants.
I mean, I'm assuming so.
Chick-fil-A's consistency, yeah. Because like you can get them anywhere and you know they're gonna be good. Um, Cookie Fix is fucking
Mm,
good.
okay.
Do y'all have a Cookie Fix there?
No, sir.
Well, I can't get you any this weekend, but
Thanks. Thank
I'll
you.
figure it out. Okay.
Yeah, we won't. I'm not holding my breath. We talked about this with Waffle House.
Yeah.
I'm not holding my breath, Alex. Um, I'm gonna say because dude. I love. I'm putting chocolate chip cookie as like the pinnacle of sweet treat for me. That is where like that is. I will always go after that.
Yeah.
Chick-fil-A, Jimmy John's, Jersey Mike's.
It's as long as they're warm is the
Yeah,
thing. Like that's where yeah, like I because the thing is I like ice cream, I eventually start feeling sick if you eat like a certain amount. Cheesecake, kind of the same thing, but
mhm.
like cookies just like I can be an endless pit, dude. Like,
Dude. I McDonald's cookies, bro.
yeah,
13 easy.
easy. That's a baker's dozen.
That's what I'm
Cookie.
saying, dude. I give me two of those right now. No stomach issues either. It's the shit, dude. My body responds like a garbage fire to processed foods like that. It's awesome. Um, what's with sourdough bread recently? The trend.
Dude, sourdough bread's been around. I think there was like Adam, Eve, dinosaurs, Adam, Eve, somewhere
Sourdough bread.
in your religion, sourdough bread. Like,
Betty White somewhere in there too.
yeah,
Yeah. You know
like,
she's older than sliced bread. Literally, Betty White is older than sliced bread. It's your fact of the
That's
day, guys.
insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, dude, sourdough's great, but like the thing is you if you're gonna buy sourdough, it has to be, or you have to make it. It has to be like freshly baked. You have to get it from a farmer's market where it's like the real deal. That's where I guess you get the like gut biome benefits. Like I know it's easy in summary, yeah, it's easier to digest than wheat bread, I
Mhm.
guess. Um, but like I don't know. I eat Dave's Killer Bread every morning and I'm fine. So
Yeah, I just like sourdough bread. I just think it tastes good. I mean, that's really like the only reason I've ever used it. I've never considered, like, I understand there's supposed to be some gut health benefits to it, but to your point, you have to like, you have to basically go the artisanal route, the mom and pop baker, or make it yourself, which that also looks like arguably kind of entertaining to like make the starter and shit. Like my mom does it. She loves it so much. Like it's like her little child that she
yeah,
tends to. So I think there's like something that comes with it being like a laborious process. There's like some delayed gratification and making bread, which is kind of cool.
yeah,
But I just think it's a superior bread.
yeah. I mean, it is the best bread you can get outside of like a brioche bun or something like that, just in terms of like taste. I don't know. Like my thought on it is look, like if I'm married and that is like all my wife really has to worry about is like baking sourdough bread. I feel like as a man of the house and as a husband, I've done a damn good job. Like, I hope that's all my wife has to focus on a
You did
Tuesday
it.
is just getting this sourdough right. Like, I will be thrilled. I've made it if that's all she has to worry about. 'Cause I'm not making it, but like, hell yeah, babe. Oh God, didn't it rise right? I'm so sorry. This is our stressor for the day.
Terrible day.
Like
Terrible day.
and I don't say that like making fun of it. Like there was this thing that Jocko said, like he was talking about how, like his wife was telling him about his day after he gets home from being in the military and he's like making all these big command decisions. And he was like, I just started to like smile that this is all my wife has to worry about because I've done so. And so like when I say that, I'm not like belittling it. Like I'm being dead serious. I genuinely hope that that's all my wife has to worry about is what kind of sourdough is rising today. Because then
Mm-hmm.
I'll know as a man I've done my job.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, just trying to kick in now. Um, yeah, dude, I think it's a beautiful thing. It's like that gets to be all that you need to stress about. That I get to stress about everything else, and I think that's how it's supposed to be. I'll also say this too, with when it comes to like the mental masturbation of what we see in coaching. I promise you, like eating sourdough bread over any other type of bread, as long as it's within a similar caloric value, is not going to make or break your physique. You could eat Wonder Bread for all I give a fuck about.
Yeah, it's not that deep. Just like with
It's
most things in bodybuilding, it's not that deep. You find
Bruce here now.
Grew. You find what works for your body. Some people it's going to be sourdough. Some people like the taste of it and will make it work. But like those who, there's the man,
Oh,
the
guy.
chunk. There's no, you're not missing out if you're not eating sourdough. We'll
No,
we'll say that. Just like people are like, oh, well, I should eat kraut or kimchi. Yeah, you need like 3 ounces of kraut for like benefits,
but
right?
it tastes so good.
Yeah, it doesn't take that much. So
Yeah, I love that stuff, man. It's delicious. Um, that's everything.
it's everything.
We
Good.
got through a long list. Thank you again to everybody who participates every single week with these Q&As. Gives us some cool stuff to talk about. Again, thank you to everybody who's listened to get us to that 12,000. That's very humbling to say the least. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. It's really cool to see these numbers continue to rise and reaching larger and larger audiences. And until next time, thank you for listening to the Coaches Union.